I'm back at Worcester Art Gallery, but this time to see the Regiments Museum and History, which is actually going to be moving soon. So there's only a limited time to see it while it's here. The Worcestershire Soldier exhibition goes back to 1694 and it's covering the regiment and also the yeomanry. So there's a lot of regiments that are in the county and it covers everything. So that means you've got the Napoleonic Wars, the Boer War, right up to First World War, Second World War and modern conflict. So they may have changed their names over the centuries, most recently the Mercian, but it's a real history of it all, and there's so much to see here and the stories behind it. One of the key points that you want to look at, some real highlights connected to things like the first black drummers in the regiment, which is really surprising. So among all this history that's just fascinating, this is about the 29th Regiment that actually had black drummers. And we're talking about, we're going back to the sort of 1700s here. There's a lot around the soldiers of colour and the medals they got, and this would belong to John Freeman from Antigua. And actually the regiment had to write to the king to get the approval. And it meant that they got pension rights, they got a salary, and then when they retired they went to Chelsea. But interestingly, after the American War of Independence, a lot of the slaves decided, who'd settled in Nova Scotia where the British put them, decided they wanted to join the army. This section is on the Boer War. It's an original and opened version in the Boer War. And this is really interesting. This is to do with the Sikh Wars. They were in the heat of the Punjab. The opposition restricted water as a weapon, so that's why this water vessel here was so important. That actually belonged to one of the Sikh soldiers that was claimed and brought back, and it shows the Indian embroidery, yet the European style jacket. So it's really interesting about not just military but also in terms of clothing and style and fashion. The yeomanry cavalry were funded by the aristocrats, so they looked very fine, and this was one of the presents given to one of them, and it's a very special gun made by one of the best gun makers in the world, made by Manton. To think that just went to a soldier, and this is the presentation box. Now we're coming into the First World War section, where both the Yeomanry and the Worcester's regiments were in it. That's actually a propeller from an aeroplane from the First World War that was used as a marker when he died. What makes this more special is there's a lot of personal stories about the soldiers that really bring it all to life. There's some amazing medals here and Victoria Cross, and you can see the stories of the men involved that really bring it to life. Victoria Cross is the highest medal that you can get in the British Army for bravery. Very special. This just shows the scale of it really, because you've got the modern warfare and Afghanistan, and you go all the way back to the painting and the history of this regiment and the yeomanry. It's all here. One of the soldiers sent the museum back some real poppies from the Afghan fields that you can see here. One of the most poignant things is actually the roll of honour for all the soldiers that have died in quite recent battles as well. So I just want to show you there.